Okay, hi everyone, this is audap. This one's kind of different. I just got this, so this is the PC Engine version of Afterburner 2, which I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that this version is actually pretty highly regarded, especially compared to the version that one appeared on the Master System, which is maybe a little unfair, and then other versions that appeared on the Mega Drive, the Genesis. So. Apparently this is really good, so yeah, let's check it out. Service mode, control 3D room, Obviously it's not going to have, the same, massive amount of scaling. Oop, never mind. I can already tell I made a mistake on not changing the control. Yes, well, let's do that. Really good job here with the full scrolling here, or the full scaling here. Honestly, this really isn't bad. I mean, you can do barrel roll super easy, just like the arcade version. The music's good. And like I said, there's no real scaling of objects. They're just, drawn at different levels of detail and zoom. But I mean, I totally would have been happy with this had had the opportunity to play this when it came out. Again, especially when you consider the Mega Drive version, and certainly the Master System version. Yeah, there's a couple of sprite tricks to give you the illusion of some objects using hardware scaling. But, well, software tricks. I think it's pretty impressive. The music's actually really good, too. Of course, it's Afterburner, so it's like dickishly hard. That was just true for all of Sega's Superscaler games. Afterburner, Space Harrier, Thunderblade. How many continues can you have? I imagine it'd be limited. Yeah, I remember being fascinated by this game being available in Japan on the PC Engine. I mean, this was still when Nintendo had a very hard grip on third-party publishers and game developers, which was not really true in Japan. So cross-platform games, which we're so used to now, was not a very common thing back in these days. Oftentimes Nintendo would punish a developer for releasing a game that wasn't exclusive to their platform. Again, at that time, obviously they've changed significantly in their policies, but yeah. Yeah, they got to the top with, you know, some rather nefarious means, really. But of course, now they're like the most loose of the publishers, you know, outside of Valve. But yeah, I remember wanting this game quite a bit. And like I said, I mean, had I had this back in the day, I mean, I'm sure I would have been really happy with it, because it's pretty impressive. I'll tell you that, it gives your thumb a workout though, and my thumb was actually getting sore. Well, how do you control the speed with this thing then? Because you could throttle up and down with Afterburner. Yeah, I guess the real test of Afterburner is the bonus stage. And you do this exactly. I mean, this is pretty rough. Although certainly you can play it. But again, considering the hardware of the PC Engine, this is really, really good. Ugh. Okay, so you get one continue. Pretty rough. Oh god, my thumb is so sore. Makes you realize how nice controllers are nowadays, and how actually little you have to move your thumb around for you know, modern game. Oh, this thing, you had to rotate your thumb like crazy. Yeah, I think, I mean, even the enemy patterns seem pretty accurate to the arcade game. You know, they just couldn't achieve the same arcade visuals, but again, you know, all things considered, it's very impressive. I can see why people like it so much, this version particularly. Yeah, I might play this more, actually, now that I realize how good it is. I mean, obviously you can, you know, you can get the original Afterburner and Afterburner 2 emulated pretty well. You know, various collections have had it. I think Arcade Archives has Afterburner 2 in it, if I remember correctly. I might find myself playing this version. There's like a certain amount of cheapness that comes with all of the Sega Super Skiller games. You know, like I said, you know, between Thunderblade and Outrun and Afterburner, you know, they're always like really great rides, but they never really felt like you were in that much control of anything. just because the positioning of the camera and you're in the game, and how fast everything comes to you. It's not strictly a pattern-based game. Things do change up as you play. Yeah, I think the frames that they did draw for the objects are, I think they're good. They're good enough. Good enough to give you the illusion of and the sense of speed that the arcade game have. I mean, this is certainly a better experience than Afterburner 3 on the Mega CD. That game ended up being not great. Oh, this guy. I think the most amazing thing is this isn't even like a super graphics game. It's just a regular old PC engine. Not a CD game, it's just a hue card. Yeah, unfortunately these are the weakest stages, the bonus stages. But again, really at this time, I mean, I would have been ecstatic to play something that looked like this available at home. At least a little while, then I'd get up my arcade snobbery after a while. But I would still have a fun time with it. That's right, I forget they open up with being shot at from behind. Oh, come on. Yeah, boy, that's an unusually fun time. But yeah, why don't we stop it there? I need to give my thumb. I need to give my thumb a break. Boy, that was working. That was working it. This is audap. You've been watching Afterburner 2 running on the PC Engine. Again, an original hue card release. Not a super CD or a regular CD. Just just a version that was made for the original PC Engine. And I gotta say, this is really, really awesome. If you didn't have the arcade, if we didn't have like an arcade version available at the time, and again, you can get the arcade version. I think there are arcade archives, and I think one of the Sega collections also has it. But at the time that this was released, this was about as close to the arcade as you could get, and still very impressive, even to this day. So, and I think it's a little bit I think it's a little more fair than the arcade version. The arcade version really was out to get your money, and here, I think I've gotten a lot farther than I ever did in the arcade. So yeah, hats off. They did a little bit of adjustment when they brought it over for the home audience, even though a lot of the patterns are very similar to the arcade, if not exactly in the same formations. But yeah, check it out if you have some way. This version in particular, I know now you'd have to have a working PC Engine and a copy of this game, which thankfully this one is not a super collector's item, but it still is expensive. Probably almost as expensive as when it was released. But I think this is one that would be worth your time if you're trying to collect. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.